Today, we're going to go ahead and play through AC Unity on the Steam Deck. We're going to be starting it off at 800p at the lowest settings. So going into options and then graphics. Here we are at 800p with the low preset. There we go. Let's jump into it and see what we can get. This game is an absolute pain to get going, by the way. It took me, I think, 3 or 4 reinstalls to get it actually running properly. So at first the game actually ran, but my save wasn't synced, even though it's got Ubisoft Connect with cloud saves. So I moved the file from my PC over to the Steam Deck, and the game would consistently freeze in the intro, over and over again. So I reinstalled it, opened it up, signed in, and boom. It finally works as intended. My save is here, the game is finished. It's actually running properly. One more thing about this game that's very annoying as well. Ubisoft Connect will ask you for your password each and every single time you want to play the game. Very annoying. I don't know why it's not fixed. It happens with other games as well, but I don't know. It's just so annoying, man. Kind of annoying, but if you like the game, I guess you'll look past it. But yeah, in-game we're sitting pretty much in the low to high 60s and occasionally down into the 50s and 40s as well in those heavier scenes. This game is very CPU intensive, as you guys can see. There's a lot of NPCs on the screen at once, which is taxing for the CPU. And as you guys know, the CPU of the Steam Deck is its weakest part, so keep that in mind. It's still very playable at the low settings, the game looks great as well. Missing a bit of anti-aliasing in my opinion, but it's really up to you to be honest. For me personally, surprisingly, I would keep anti-aliasing disabled. But yeah, the option is there for you, you can do what you want. And I'm not sure if you guys remember, but when this game came out, it was very intensive and ran very poorly on the Xbox One, on the PS4 and on PC. On the console, it dropped down into the 20s even in those heavy situations. Very unplayable, but nowadays, even on the Steam Deck, it's very playable at 60 FPS plus. And yeah, let's go up to the medium settings now and see how the game looks and how it performs. Okay, medium settings. There we are there. It's really a mix of medium and high with shadows onto low, which is actually kind of smart. At this point, anti-aliasing is enabled right now, and the image definitely looks much softer. If you like that softer look, then keep it enabled, but for me personally, I think the sharper look looks much better and much more crisp. But yeah, still very fun. Very smooth, sitting in the high 40s / the mid 50s. Quite a decrease, but the game does look much better, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of the pop-in, but it's an older game, so it's to be expected, to be honest. Can't really hate on it too much. Should we do a bit of parkouring? I think we should. Let's go up on this building real quick. The parkouring in this game is so smooth. It feels so fun to do it. And it never felt the same after this game, to be honest. All the other games, they all feel different. This one had it down perfectly. Very fluid movement. It was just so fun. Alright, going up onto the building. Sitting in the low 50s. It's fine. I think there was one stutter overall at the medium settings. That's about it. I think ideally playing at the medium settings at 40 FPS without anti-aliasing is the way to go. The game will look fantastic and run really nicely as well. But again, up to you. I'm just showing you how it looks and how it performs. You can make up your mind from there. Alright, and here we are at the high settings. There we go. So let's see how the game feels. Where are you going, buddy? What? Did I miss the tackle like that? Come on. I wouldn't do that. Come back. Nice, he trips. What an idiot. Get him. Alright, sitting in the low 40s / the low 50s. Still a fun experience, to be honest. And keep in mind that the FPS will be far lower in the main cities versus once you actually go outside of them. You should probably gain like an extra 10 FPS once you go outside, or even 20 even. But yeah, high settings feels fine. Not stuttering, there's no lagging. The low 40s / low 50s experience. You could either go with a 40 FPS cap at this point or a 30 FPS cap to have some extra headroom. But I've had an issue with a 30 FPS cap where the game actually runs at 20 instead, which I'll try to show you guys in a second. Really fun game. It's a fun story too. Fluid movement. What more can you ask for? Alright, now running the game at 30 FPS, I just want to show you guys how it looks and how it performs. There is a glitch that I've found where the game runs at 20 FPS instead occasionally. So we'll see if it actually happens again. But if it doesn't, this is the way to play the high preset. It's the most stable, the most consistent. It's not as fluid as 40 or 50 FPS obviously, but again, it's more consistent. So less stuttering, and yeah, it feels good. So far though, hasn't happened yet, but last night happened like 2 or 3 times as I was running the high settings with 30 FPS, and it happened within like 20 seconds. So it was very quick. So yeah, this is a bit random, I guess. Try it out, see if it happens to you. Runs at 20 FPS and ignore it, and play at the optimal settings. And if it doesn't, then obviously this is playable, very consistent, no stuttering, great experience all around at the high settings, which is the max preset. Okay, Let's go up to the optimal settings now and see what we can do. All right, and here we are at the optimal settings. Where's graphics? There we go. And here we are there. It's a mix of medium and high with shadows onto low. One last time, if you like the softer look, then enable anti-aliasing. And if you don't, then disable it like I did, and the game will look much sharper. Sitting in the high 50s / low 50s. Again, this is a mix of medium and high, so keep that in mind. The FPS is fantastic, to be honest. What are you guys doing? Get down. Boom, baby. Oh, it's so slick. This game is so slick. So with this preset, you can go with a 40 FPS cap or a 30 FPS cap even. And your battery life will be around 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But obviously in those heavy situations, it will drop down a little bit. But on average for me, it was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. If you go with the uncapped frame rate, we'll drop it down to like an hour and a half instead. So keep that in mind. But yeah, overall a great experience. Very smooth. The main issue is the logging in for the passwords and the pop-in. It's an older game though, again, so it makes sense. But the password situation should be no excuse for that. And for dock mode, we're playing the game at 900p with FSR enabled at the optimal settings. Sitting in the low to mid 30s and up into the low 40s. Quite fantastic. Again, on the consoles, on the PS4 and Xbox One, this game ran at 30 FPS with dips into the 20s. So the Steam Deck is doing a fine job. 30 to 40 FPS. It's very playable. There's no stuttering. Great time all around. It does look a bit oversharpened with FSR, but you can obviously go ahead and adjust that in the Steam menu. So really up to you. I'm using number 4 for the preset of FSR. So maybe using 3 or 2 would fix that issue. All right, there we go. That's AC Unity on the Steam Deck. Great experience for the most part. Really fun game. But Ubisoft Connect kind of sucks. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time for the next video. See you guys there.